Zoroastrianism is one of the world's most ancient religions, but it's dying out. We're here to tell you a little bit about it. Zoroaster was a prophet who started the religion in Persia. His followers, who later became refugees, were called Parsis and followed him because he preached peaceful lessons in a time full of war.
Muslims invaded Persia, where Zoroastrianism was at one point the dominant religion. The Parsis then left Persia and headed to India after Muslim dominance threatened persecution in the 800s. Zoroastrianism is one of the world's first monotheistic religions and one of the most ancient religions in the world. Zoroaster is believed to have lived around 6th century BC, but other archaeological and scientific sources place him as living as early as 16th century BC. Most information about him comes from a collection of religious scriptures called Avesta.
Zoroastrianism is a monotheistic religion consisting of one god called Ahura Mazda. Similar to Christianity, they believe Ahura Mazda created the world. Similar to Satan, they have an evil spirit called Angra Mainyu, which is believed to one day be defeated so that the world will return to good. Afterlife is similar to heaven and hell in Christianity. If you do more good in life, it's believed that you cross a bridge into heaven. However, if you choose to do more bad in life, as they believe that good and bad is a complete choice, then you try to cross the bridge, but you end up falling into hell. Fire is extremely sacred in this religion and represents goodness and truthfulness.
Every fire temple, the given name for places of worship, have a flame burning around the clock and are maintained by the priests.
Some of the festivals, like the 6 Gahan bars, date back from before Zoroastrianism, while some of them, like Nowruz, the Iranian New Year, have become part of Islamic tradition. The calendar is split into 12 months, with each day being named after Ahura Mazda, Amisha Spentaor, or Yazata. The Yazata are personified aspects of nature, also considered gods or goddesses. There are 3 different calendars: Fasli, Shahanshah, and Kadimi, and they each depend on which community you're living in. The Gahan bars are 6 of the 7 obligatory feasts, each one based on the seasons. This could be mid-spring, midsummer, mid-year winter, bringing in the harvest, All Souls. These festivals date back to pre-Zoroastrian times with the agricultural people of the Iranian plateau.
Navajote is the initiation ritual and is known as Sedri Pushi. This is when a child aged 7 to 12 receives his or her sudre and kusti and performs the kusti ritual for the first time. The child already knows the daily prayers and will participate in ceremonial washing. The ceremony is then performed by a mabed and is required for Zoroastrian families. There are 2 parts to a Zoroastrian wedding, whether Parsi or Persian. The first stage, the bride and groom sign a contract with the guardians, and in the second stage, it's followed by feasts and celebrations that last 3 to 7 days. The bride and groom are traditionally dressed in white to symbolize purity. During the wedding, married female relatives hold a scarf, typically white, over the couple's heads, while 2 crystallized sugar cones are rubbed together to sweeten the couple's lives. 2 parts of the scarf are then sewn together to symbolize uniting the couple. Zoroastrians lay out the dead in towers of silence in Mumbai. They believe that as soon as the breath leaves the body, it becomes impure. Death is considered the work of Angra Mainyu, the embodiment of evil, whereas earth is considered beautiful and pure and the work of God. Contaminating the elements with decaying matter is considered sacrilegious. They traditionally lay the body out on a tower to be exposed to the sun and eaten by birds of prey like vultures. In Mumbai, there are 70,000 towers, built near forest gardens for this purpose. In countries where this is deemed illegal, they opt for cremation. This tradition may have to end, though, due to the change in India and the decline in birds of prey. They believe that fire represents God's light and wisdom. They're not fire worshippers. They place less emphasis on ritual worship and more on core ethics: good words, good thoughts, and good deeds. They think that followers should worship when they want to, not as an obligation. Communal worship is centered around the seasonal festivals. They traditionally pray multiple times per day and may wear a clean white cotton long robe called a sudra tied with a kusti, a rope with 3 knots representing the maxim, that they may untie and retie during prayer. They may also engage in a purification ritual such as washing. Prayers are done facing the sun or fire, representing God's light and goodness. These prayers call on Ahura Mazda and good essence. They focus on keeping their minds, bodies, and environment pure to fight off evil. No ritual or ceremony is performed without the presence of fire. Believe it or not, online dating is actually saving Zoroastrianism. Since across the world there are only about 150,000 members of the religion, it can be hard to find somebody of the same faith unless you're somewhere like Iran or India. If you're somewhere like North America or Australia, where few people have let alone even heard of the religion, it can be hard to find somebody who is also Zoroastrian that you can marry and settle down and have kids with. Since dating in the Zoroastrian community has started getting very difficult, people have started going to the internet and dating apps to try to find somebody who shares their faith. There's actually now a Zoroastrian-only dating site that is an app that you can get on your phone, and it's similar to Tinder, where you swipe if you like the person and you swipe the other way if you're not really feeling it. A lot of the people who have gone on not Zoroastrian-only dating apps that have been looking for a Zoroastrian partner have actually ended up with a Christian or a Jew or a Muslim or somebody who's actually not of the faith that they were looking for. So this Zoroastrian-only dating network is kind of an attempt to let that not happen, since the statistics for the religion are not really looking very good right now. For every 1 Zoroastrian that's born, 5 die, and within the next century, if nothing changes, Zoroastrians will be extinct. A 30-year-old from Australia who's Zoroastrian said, "When you're taught that you're a part of a diminishing community, you feel like you've got a sense of responsibility to meet a Zoroastrian and help those numbers grow." A lot of young Zoroastrians are trying to do the same thing, and older Zoroastrians are trying to help the younger people meet another Zoroastrian so that they can help the numbers grow. Zoroastrianism may only be a minority religion, but it's still one of the most ancient religions in the world that's rich in history and founded on morals of happiness and goodness.